Okay, then the MC comes in. He's going to invite Yamamoto-san and Vijay-san on the stage.
Yeah.
And then from there,
Cameras.
Yes, the cameras will be there. So touch. So, okay, after this video, we'll have the cameras. Okay, the MC is going to invite Yamamoto-san and Vijay-san.
I'll give you my one. It's a rig.
Just naturally get these women to come and give the cameras, or when
Bring them on. 2 girls. Yeah, it's
the
good.
MC is announcing, the other 2 guys also to come on stage. That's the time she can also say that, why don't you?
Yeah, bring on the cameras.
Oh, can we ask?
She tells.
How about giving the cameras in hand of Vijay-san and Yamamoto-san? They are carrying the camera.
It'll be better actually.
Okay, so they carry the camera up. For Nick, me, and Yamane-san, 3 cameras the MC can carry and give it to us. So after this, straight away the MC comes in. Yeah, so she's aware about it.
Mine's going to be a rig, by the way. You know that.
Okay, after this video, she should be aware. Okay, thank you, Nick.
Can I please have your attention? I would request you all to please settle down, take your places, because we have some great and exciting news for all of you all. Well, once again, formally, a very warm welcome to all of you on behalf of the Panasonic family. Thank you so much for taking out your precious time and joining us here today. Well, I can't be more happy and gaga. As you can see, I have not one, not two, but so many reasons in the Panasonic family to be celebrating and to be happy. As you all know and as you all can see that yes, the Lumix is marking its 10th anniversary and Panasonic is now walking into its 100th anniversary. Ladies and gentlemen, can we please have a big round of applause on that big news? Marking the company's 100th anniversary, Panasonic strengthens its vision to bring innovation to lifestyles and society by drawing on the DNA cultivated over the years as an electronics and appliances manufacturer. Entering its 100th year, Panasonic is set to build the future within the next 100 years in their horizon. Well, ladies and gentlemen, over the past 17 years, Panasonic has stood on the forefront of digital camera development and delivered many of the world's first technologies, such as high zoom and OIS for compact cameras, world's first mirrorless camera, full HD and 4K mirrorless dual image stabilizer, and 18 megapixel 30 frame per second burst shooting, and so on. Panasonic will continue to lead and innovate in the camera industry in the years to come. As an inventor of the mirrorless camera, Panasonic has developed some unique technologies to achieve high picture quality, high speed performance, stability and usability, and professional level video technologies as its core competence. Panasonic launched the Lumix GH5 camera, which has now become a massive hit, as we all know. So, to talk more about these exciting news, and of course Panasonic, I would now like to invite on stage Mr. Vijay Vadhavan. He is the business head of Systems and Solutions Division, Panasonic India, to please come and join me on stage and to address the gathering.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's on? It's working? Hi. Morning, ladies and gentlemen. And before I start, I would like to thank all of you for taking time out of your busy schedules. I understand Auto Expo is going on and a lot of you are required over there as well. But thanks for coming in over here. Before I take you to the product itself and what is this all about, I would like to give you a little bit of brief about Panasonic as such. What do we do? What is the philosophy of the company? How do we manufacture our products? And what really stands behind the products that we innovate or manufacture at Panasonic? As the lady told you, we got founded way back in 1918, and 2018 happens to be our centenary year. Over the last 100 years, starting from a product that we developed first, which was electric bulb holder, to where we've reached over the last 100 years, all the products which have come out have been the products which have been there for human convenience. We started with the electric bulb holder, went on to venture into all different aspects of life. And as our present president says, that we manufacture products for, a better life, a better world. That is what we do at Panasonic. Within Panasonic also, the kind of products that we make are basically divided into 4 different companies. These companies are namely the Appliance Company, Automotive and Industry Systems Company, Connected Solution Company, and finally, we've got the Ecosystem Solutions Company, wherein we manufacture products for housing, for distribution, retail, banking, finance, insurance, IT products, et al. So if you look at the entire gamut of products that we manufacture, we produce everything that's got to do with human life. As far as the imaging business is concerned or the photography business is concerned, we've been into this business for 4 decades now. And all this while, as this business evolved, we've been as leaders in this particular market. And there are reasons for that. And primarily, from our perspective, there are two reasons which we see. One, I think over the years, we've been able to garner a huge amount of in-house expertise, and we are able to keep track and rather be ahead of the curve when it comes to coming up with new technologies on the photography or the imaging business. And the second is, as a philosophy, we remain very close to our customers, understand from them what exactly is required for the new products that have to come out in the market, align our R&D with the voice of the customer that we hear, and then come up with products which are of real use in the real world, rather than preparing products which may not be that relevant. So our idea is to create more and more market relevant products, and at the same time create products which are future ready. You would have seen, we created product, the 4K came in the market first by us, and now the competition is following us. We entered into the so-called DLSM market last year with GH5, and that has actually taken us way beyond what we had expected. And now we feel with the GH5 S, the new product that we unveil and launch today, we would further strengthen our position into the market as the high quality video market. Technology, if you see, has been evolving over the last few years for all the businesses which are happening in the market, and similarly the imaging business also has taken its own bit over the last 3 to 4 years. The way the photography is being shot is changing. Even if you look at the DSLR market, there also the smaller form factor, mobility, inclined kind of cameras are coming into being, and that is something which is leading the way. Similarly, on the pro-cam market, the market which is into the wedding industry, there also we see a good amount of traction and huge growth in that market, because the wedding market itself is growing. As far as the high-end products are concerned, for example, from our category, a UX 180, there also we are seeing a huge amount of people, the amateurs, getting into candid, high-quality videography. So overall, what we feel is that the market is growing, the sentiment is positive, and I very strongly feel with the new product that we are launching today, and you'll see the features which this product has, the overall market would definitely see a delight coming out of this product once it's unveiled and once it's taken to the market. Now, talking particularly about the features which are there, I would definitely call upon the team to come over here and let you know how this product is very well suited to the Indian environment. But before we do that, I would request Yamane-san, who's director of our imaging business globally, to come on the stage and share with you the growth or the movement or the evolution of the Lumix family as it has happened over the last few years. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would want to thank all of you once again for coming in over here. And now I hand over the stage to Yamane-san. Yamane-san, please come over.
Welcome. Welcome to Panasonic Lumix press conference. My name is Yosuke Yamane. I am in charge of Panasonic's imaging business. I am happy to meet all of you, of the important people of the India market. I will explain about our strategy and introduce new products today. The year 2018 is the 100th anniversary of Panasonic's foundation. We have been developing products and providing services to satisfy customers and enrich people's lives for 100 years, and want to continue doing so for another 100 years. Comparing with Panasonic's 100 years history, Lumix digital camera history is relatively short. However, over the past 17 years, we have stood on the forefront of digital camera development and have delivered many world-first technologies, such as high zoom and OIS for compact cameras, world-first mirrorless camera, Full HD and 4K mirrorless, dual image stabilizer, and 18 megapixel 30 frame per second burst shooting, and so on. Lumix will continue to lead innovation in the camera industry for many more years to come. We will celebrate the 10th anniversary of our first development of a mirrorless camera, along with the 100th anniversary of Panasonic. In fact, as we were the first company to develop a mirrorless camera back in 2008, only Lumix can celebrate a 10th anniversary this year for mirrorless cameras. As an innovator of mirrorless cameras, we have developed unique technologies to achieve high picture quality, high-speed performance, mobility and usability, and professional-level video technologies as a core competence. Collaboration with Leica for high picture quality, DFD quick autofocusing technology for high-speed performance, heat-releasing technology for mobility and usability, 4 to 10-bit for pro-level video technology. Based on these key technologies, we have been the technology leader of mirrorless category. Finally, the GH5 became a massive hit globally immediately after its launch last year. Following the GH5, we will strengthen our high-end line of mirrorless cameras to meet the tough requirement of both videographers and photographers. Going forward, we will drastically shift our resources to high-end mirrorless cameras as driving force of Lumix business. Today, we are very happy to introduce the expansion of our high-end line of mirrorless as an ultimate hybrid camera with professional-level video functions with high-sensitivity sensor. Ladies and gentlemen, this is GH5 S. GH5 provided excitement for pro videographers with many of pro video functions such as 4K, 60p, 4 to 10-bit, and Vlog-L, and so on. New GH5S incorporates new sensor for high sensitivity shooting and will realize the highest video quality in the history of Lumix. This model will perfectly fit the needs of Indian videographers for wedding video shooting. We are sure that GH5S will create new world of videography in the huge Indian market. Towards the 2020 Olympic Games, 4K will evolve to 8K. In order to lead this trend, we have already started development of 8K generation engine, sensor, and lenses. 8K cameras will have huge potential for various applications such as cinema shooting, stadium shooting with innovative workflow, and security and surveillance, and so on. We will continue to be the technology leader in the 8K era. We will create revolutionary change for the future videography and photography. With our cutting-edge technologies, we pledge to develop strong products to meet the needs of Indian customers. Please stay tuned with Lumix. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. That was Mr. Yusuke Yamane. He's the Director of Imaging Business Group, Panasonic Corporations. Well, ladies and gentlemen, now coming to the point. As you can see, I'm standing here on this very beautiful stage, but for especially someone like me, my job every day is a new day. how do I showcase my work? Of course, it cannot be through photos because I talk. I get paid to talk. I need a video. And this is actually, it's a real life problem for me, you know. I mean, I have to work in low light almost every other day. How do I get my images, my video, the way I would want it to be? I know I'm not a great professional as some of you and most of you over here, but I'm sure that you all also face the same problem, pretty much on and off, right?
Exactly.
Yes, yes, thank you. Whoever it is, thank you so much, because I don't feel alone now.
Exactly. We also face the same problems.
So you know what? Since we are here, and I have decided that today I'm going to go back home with a solution for sure.
Please.
So I am going to go and look for the solution.
Please.
I am not so sure, but I hope that my mission is accomplished towards the end
Please
of the day,
find a solution,
but I
please.
will now.
Thank you very much. So, hello, hi, namaskar, good afternoon, and konnichiwa. So, I have a lot of problems. I have a YouTube channel. So, I'll talk about the problems on the count of 10, okay? 1, 2, and 10. Done. So, you see, budget came out, huh? A big, heavy budget. So heavy that our pockets got teared up. A big black hole in our pockets. A big black hole in our pockets. So I know my subscribers would want to know more. So I said, let's quickly do a vox pop. Let's quickly, fatafat ek vox pop ho jaye. I did it. You know what I found? I found this. Look at it. See, shadows talking. I found this. Nothing. Nothing on the footage, just shadows. Nothing else, not even a mosquito biting. Nothing on the footage. What should I do? I traveled 1 hour. 1 hour. 60 minutes and 3600 seconds to get to where? CP. CP. 1 hour and CP. 1 hour for the shadows.
Hey,
1 hour.
excuse me. Did I hear 1 hour?
Yes, I said 1 hour.
I'll tell you something, brother. You know what? For like 5 hours, I was sitting at a machan.
5 hours? Oh my God.
Exactly 5 hours. And trust me, I was low on food, almost out of water.
How did you survive, buddy, huh?
That even I have no idea about. But trust me, I was not even chewing my food loudly. But then I had to go. No, sir, please don't look at me like that. It was just a nature's call in the nature.
Oops, moments happens.
Exactly. And you know what? Just before the dawn, I see this tiger approaching.
Oh, wow.
And I knew that I will be getting an amazing footage of this.
Exactly.
You know, like rising sun.
Oh, yes.
Glorious cat.
Oh, meow. Oops.
And when I looked at the footage, you know, it was this. Exactly.
This.
Exactly this. Can you see that glorious cat?
The tiger is moonwalking.
Yeah. As you can see, I could only see few shadows coming towards me. That's it.
Not even the tiger's moonwalk. Just shadows.
Absolutely.
Only shadows.
No shadow.
Shadows. Did I hear shadows?
Yes. I said shadows. Did you also get shadows?
I only got shadows.
I will like and subscribe to him, huh? We also got shadows.
I mean, यार, एक तो रात की शादी, tick. ऊपर से not every day you have a fufa ji who can dance better than Shahid Kapoor, tick. And at the end, what I got?
Shadows. Tick.
See.
See? Oh my God. Shadows dancing?
Waste. Some waste.
I feel bad. I literally feel bad for you, buddy. I feel bad.
You know, one more thing happened. So I went for this really slow motion shot, like extremely slow motion kind of a shot, okay? And I was like, I was almost there. and even that didn't happen. I was like, dude, it's not coming.
What?
It was not coming.
Not even this? Literally?
No.
Not even this? Seriously?
Nope.
See, exactly. That's my problem. What will I show? What will I show to my subscribers? This subscribers over here, what will I show? The shadows? No. Hey, by the way, did you two subscribe to my channel? Huh? Did you two
Subscribe to my channel? No, we didn't. I'll tell you why. Because, my thumb and my hand hurts.
Oh.
That bulky camera which I hold like this, all the time.
It's okay.
Trust me, I don't need a gym right now to make my body. Trust me on that. It's okay.
The body was so hot on that night.
She man. We guys are talking about cameras right now. And look at this man. He wants to talk about hot women at the wedding.
Arey, I was not talking
ridiculous.
I was not talking about the...
Shameless idiot.
Arey, listen now. I was not talking about the women's.
Then?
I was talking about the camera. It became so hot that I have to switch it off. And I missed so many precious moments. And the client is super angry on me. Tell me, what should I do now? Tell me.
I don't know. I don't have any idea what should you do. Do you have any idea? Huh? Do you have any idea? Hey, wildlife man. Do you have anything for the shadows?
No, I don't.
Does anyone over here have a solution? Does anyone over here have? Anyone? Please find a solution for me. The shadows are irritating. Does anyone over here have a solution for it? Please.
Hey, maybe what? I guess there are 2 photographers here. We shall call them. Why not? How about that?
Yep.
What's it?
Yep.
Please.
Where are those photographers, by the way?
I want a
Do
solution.
you know where the photographers are?
Well, yes. I said I'm going to look for the solution. I have not looked for the solution. I'm not talented, but I have found those people who have the solution. So we have Nick and Gaurav here with us.
There you go.
They have some solution, buddy. They have some solution.
So now, over to Nick and Gaurav.
Hello, mic test. We have the solution. Very good afternoon, friends. Thank you very much for joining today's event. Vijayan also mentioned that today being an auto expo, you all would have been there as well, but thank you very much for taking out time. And yes, Nick, we have a solution. These guys have so much of problem.
We do indeed, yes.
But before we share the solution, we will show you some footage which has been already shot by the camera. So it's like you have to view the camera, you have to view the image and then see.
The Tiger by William Blake. Tiger, tiger, burning bright in the forest of the night. What immortal hand or eye could frame thy fearful symmetry? Distant, deeps of skies, burnt the fires of thine eyes. On what wings dare we aspire? What the hand dare seize the fire? And what shoulder and what art could twist the sinews of thy heart? And when thy heart began to beat, what dread hand and what dread feet?
Well, beautiful video, Nick.
Thank you.
Where have you got these images from?
This is from Ranthambore National Park in Rajasthan. We shot the entire production on the Lumix GH5 S. And as you can see, the detail in the shadows and the highlights. We shot this in hybrid log gamma, the new HDR standard, and it just looks incredible.
Wonderful. I can see the VFR forced motion. I can see a very crisp image, no noise, beautiful. That is the solution that we are giving to our users, right?
Absolutely. That's one of the big problems that videographers face. They want detail when it's dark or low light. And now with the fabulous GH5 S launch, we now have that.
Wonderful. All right, so GH series, when we started the GH series in India, GH4 was the first one that we brought in India, but we have a legacy of the GH series, the GH1, the GH2, GH3, GH4. GH3, what I believe has been very popular among the videographers, and when we got the GH4, which was the 4K model, that gave us an entry into India. But the bigger picture is GH5. That has been our breakthrough model in India. And it is, for the last 9 months, it is very well accepted by our users, not just by the wedding videographers, but even from the cinematographers, right?
Absolutely, yeah. And, you know, it's been such a success, hasn't it?
Yeah, but then we still have solutions for the guys who share the problem. We have the GH5 S today. So S is the low sensitivity that we are talking about. We are talking about low light videography. We are talking about low light photography here. Some of the features that we are talking with the GH5 S is the 240 FPS, the slow motion that we are talking here. We are talking about the high sensitivity, the dual native ISO.
And of course, you've got Vlog installed. You know, it's fantastic. The GH5 S is certainly, for myself as a filmmaker, really a step up. It's really stepped up the game in terms of giving that professional look and feel in low light. And also its connectivity with timecode. Yeah, I can now sync multi-camera setups instantly and very easily.
But very important for our users to understand, GH5 remains to be there for still and video, but GH5S is for professionals, for professional cinematography, for wedding users, for documentary users. So it's very important to know that GH5 and GH5S will be the flagship models for us.
Absolutely, and GH5S for sensitivity. You know, it really is dynamic. It really lifts the dynamic range of the camera, and perceptually it's like a 14-stop camera. It's incredible. Yeah,
with the low light sensitivity that we have got, of course the GH5 has the 20 mega, we have got a 10 mega here, but then we are talking about low light sensitivity. We have got so much of problems for our users. Users are facing problems in terms of the low light videography when you're talking about wedding, when you're talking about cinematography, when you're talking about documentary making. With the low light sensitivity GH5S solution, what we have experienced with our limited footage that we have shared here is the noise reduction that is there with the GH5. And this is the feature that we are talking about, the dual native ISO.
Bigger pixels, you know, we don't need much for video, as we all know. And so 10.2 megapixels is more than adequate for 4K video. And it looks fantastic with those bigger pixels. More light is getting in.
Yeah, but a drastic improvement as in comparison to the GH5. We are talking about the GH5 S here, and the extended ISO is closer to 204K, so which is 51,000 is the extended ISO, and we are talking about 204,000 ISO for the GH5 S, so very low in sensitivity.
And it really does see in the dark. It's incredible, you know. This dual ISO has been borrowed down from the Varicam, Panasonic's professional cinema technology. There's analog circuitry after each pixel, displaying the two native ISOs so they look identical and the very low signal to noise ratio. So images are clean.
You've done some footages with the low light sensitivity?
Yes, I have indeed, and you've seen some there. We've got some here to show actually.
What was the maximum ISO that you've used?
Well, I actually, as a filmmaker, in the GH5, we used to get to 3200 before it got noisy. Incredibly, the GH5S gets up to 5,000, way beyond before the noise is apparent. So you can really see in the dark and shoot in the dark, or use less lighting, and it's much more cost effective.
So I think it's very important for our users. As I said, the wedding users, in a condition that they get, the cinematographers, the condition that they get, low light videography is a real challenge, and there it is, the solution, right?
Absolutely.
But this camera also has an important feature, which is the DCI function for cinema 4K, and that is what we have got for GH5S. That's a major differentiator.
Yeah, in DCI Cinema 4K, so we can shoot for the cinema now in not just 24p like the GH5, but also 25p, 30p, 50p and 60p, and in 10-bit. Fantastic color rendition. The tonality is incredible.
Where was this shot?
This is shot in northern England, in Lincolnshire.
Wonderful. We also have the VFR 240, much improved by the GH5. GH5 we had in 180 FPS. We are talking about 240 FPS in full HD with such a small form factor that we have produced, right?
Yeah, it's the Murmuration here in Brighton. 240 frames per second. And here we are with a shot from Stephen Clary in Wales surfing. 240 frames. You can see it's really, really beautiful. And especially in the daylight here, I mean, the shadows under the waves, it really does pull it out. And, you know, I think people are really going to love the 240 frame, the extra frames per second you actually get. And obviously, even at 120 frames per second, half that, it just looks really, really beautiful.
Wonderful. It's a beautiful image that it has come out, right?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, we found shooting, you know, with the variable frame rate, it goes from 2 frames per second, so you can do fast motion, all the way up to this lovely slow-mo at 240. And I think that a lot of filmmakers are beginning to appreciate what the GH5 and the GH5 S will now be offering them, that additional method of being able to slow things right down.
Yes. So we have a solution.
We've given the solution, 3 there.
Well, HDR as a technology is also getting popular in India. And I believe you also have got some footages, so it's better that our users actually experience those footages with you, right?
Yeah, I've been shooting a couple of HDR films last month with the GH5 S. You saw Tiger. Here's one here as well, which shows the detail from standard dynamic range with the new HDR. It really does pull out the details in the highlights, especially in the specular highlights. So a lot of people are moving into 10-bit technology, and TVs coming out with 10-bit support. And this GH5 S can give you the best ever looking images that I've ever seen under the hybrid log gamma standard.
Yeah, but the important is the HDR functionality is available at the top-end models, like the top-end models of the filmmaking, but we have that in such a small form factor, right?
Small form factor, it's unobtrusive, you know, such a small camera, you can get the shot, people perform naturally, and it's so good in low
Nick,
light.
I'll share an experience where I was meeting one of the customers, and he mentioned that, you know, he's been a photographer last 20 years, but he wants to give up photography. The simple reason is he has back problem carrying a lot of heavy lenses, but we have a solution to that. The lenses size of Panasonic cameras are 1/3 of the competition lenses. So one is the body advantage, it is lighter. We also have the lenses advantage and a range of lenses, not just 1, 2, it is 31 lenses that we are talking about.
31 lenses, and I really love the new 200mm lens. Absolutely amazing. We shot with that in Tiger.
I think enough of talking. I think it's time that we unveil the product video for everyone so that everyone can have a view about the GH5 S.
Definitely.
Well, thank you so much, Nick and Gaurav. Now I would like to formally introduce both of you.
This is Mr. Gaurav Kaveri. He is the product head at Digital Imaging Panasonic India. And yes, Nick Driftwood, he is the brand ambassador UK for Lumix G. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to invite on stage Mr. Hiroaki Yamamoto. He is the Divisional Managing Director, SSD, Panasonic India. And also I would like to invite on stage, once again, Mr. Vijay Radhavan. He's our Business Head, Systems and Solution Division, Panasonic India. That great moment has now come for which we all have been waiting for. And this great moment is going to come with Mr. Yamane. And yes, as I said, here it is, Mr. Yamane with our new Lumix G. Well, this is our new Lumix GH5 S, and that is Mr. Yamane there with us. Ladies and gentlemen, you can all step forward, utilize this moment for a photo opportunity. Media, and I would also like to thank all our dignitaries for coming and joining us, but I will request Nick and Gaurav to please stay back. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now open with the question answer round. Thank you so much to our dignitaries. Yes, but Nick and Gaurav, please stay back. Now we are going to talk about the Lumix GH5 S, and we are open for questions. Ladies and gentlemen.
Gladly.
You can use this mic maybe to give it to people who want to, like ask questions.
Questions, don't be afraid. Any questions you'd like to ask us about the camera? Have we got a microphone as well to go into the...
give us a microphone.
Hi. You didn't mention the price.
Sorry?
You didn't tell us the price.
184,990 will be the body price for GH5 S.
And when it will be available in the market?
You're not audible.
When it will be available in the market?
It is available from tomorrow onwards.
Thank you.
So it's available from tomorrow, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that a question? Is that a hand up in the air at the back? Any questions? Don't be afraid. Yes. Here we go.
How are you looking at looking at the competition from DSLRs, which are considered to be, lot more economical and lot more, in fact, are also upgrading, as far as technology is concerned. And what are your views on 8K technology, 8K cameras, which are also being, which are also considered to be quite innovative and are being, I
think there's a natural progression to 8K. Yeah. You can see that we've got a footprint there to 2020 with the Olympics and our centenary. Who knows what's going to happen in the future, but I can't predict that. That's for Panasonic to suggest. But as far as the GH5 S goes, it's right at the cutting edge in terms of performance for professional filmmakers and for its price and affordability. It's just an incredible camera.
Well, and about the competition from selfie cameras and from DSLRs, which are also
the competition. Personally, this new sensor, it's a multi-aspect sensor. It means that it goes beyond the 4/3. It's actually slightly wider, which means it's 17:9 or DCI or 3x2. It means that when you put a lens on it, it's the same focal length diagonal between each of those multi-aspects. On other cameras, you don't get that. You've also got the low light capabilities, which equal anything out there for its size and compactness. It's a really incredible filmmaking machine.
Yeah, so as you asked about the DSLR market primarily is for still, followed by video as the secondary feature. In our cameras, video is the prime functionality, and that is where we are different from competition. And with such a small form factor, we produce the 4K 60p video recording. So again, this cannot be compared with the DSLR segments.
Thanks for the question.
Yes.
One at the back.
Hi. So, Nick, in your experience shooting with the camera, the removal of optical image stabilization, in-body stabilization, does that have any impact in comparison to the GH5? Because from what I believe, one of the most lucrative aspects of mirrorless was in-body stabilization. So, for people who want to shoot handheld or do believe in the run and gun system of shooting film, how would they actually end up benefiting from the removal of
as a filmmaker and videographer, I find the removal of IBIS, or not the removal, but it's not obviously in the GH5 S. We prefer it that way because it's a stabilized sensor now. Those electromagnetic which hold it in place in the GH5. If you want IBIS, if you're a blogger, whatever, the GH5 is naturally your choice. If you're a professional filmmaker and you're doing a lot of movements in vehicles or other motion, or using tripods, you actually switch off IBIS all the time. I know that, I've done it all the time myself, making films. So when I want professional stabilization, I would go out and get something like the Zion Tech crane or other stabilizers to give me that reliability in different kinds of scenarios. And I think with professional filmmakers, they're much wanting that to be apparent in the GH5 S, and also the other features like the multi-aspect sensor, which is, having that sensor inside that body is a tremendous achievement. And you still get the same kind of data rates, battery life, as you do with the GH5, which everybody knows is incredible, and they last a long time. You can film all day long virtually with them. But thanks for your question.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
More questions, ladies and gentlemen? Any more questions? Okay, yes. Can we please get the mic to the gentleman? Okay, last, any more questions, ladies and gentlemen?
Don't be afraid. Anyone got any more questions they'd like to ask?
In case if I'm missing someone. Okay, since you know what, I think I have a better idea. Nick and Gaurav are of course going to be here. Before I take you all to the demo zone, as you can see that we have a demo zone behind you. There are two very different situations inside the demo zone, of course, to show you different situations. Before that, you can see that we are using hashtag #LowlightPro GH5S. So kindly please use that on Twitter, Facebook, wherever you are uploading. But right now, I request you all to please move to the demo zone with me, Nick and Gaurav, and maybe we can have like a more personalized one-on-one conversation inside the demo zone, as you all will see and experience two different demo zones. We have a low light zone there for you, and then we have the 240 FPS. So I request you all to please proceed towards the demo zone with me, ladies and gentlemen. And once again, on behalf of the Panasonic family, I would really like to extend a warm thank you to all of you for taking out your very precious time and joining us here today, ladies and gentlemen. And post the demo zone, I invite you all to please join us for lunch. Thank you once again, and see you at the demo zone now.
So, yes I am. On this monitor here, you're about to see what we're going to be filming inside this tent area. We've got some guys. It's very dimly lit, notoriously dark. They're wearing black as well. So, you know, it's quite difficult to make them out. Here we are with the GH5 S at ISO 2500, yeah? This is the high setting, the high ISO. There are two ISO settings, low and high. Low is 400 ISO. This is 2500 high. We are currently shooting in I think it's a standard gamma. But if you actually, here's something that people don't know. If you're actually shooting in V-Log or hybrid log gamma is like a gamma curve which sits in between Rec 709 standard, you know, dynamic range, and log, like V-Log. So it sits in between this curve. Both hybrid log gamma and V-Log are actually 800 ISO and 5000 ISO, yeah, native, because there's an extra stop to just over a stop of dynamic range when you switch in to the log or hybrid log gamma. So here we are. Anyway, you can see we've got focus peaking on. This blue highlight shows we're at 5000 ISO right now. Focus peaking, working beautifully in low light. So we've got really, really good image focusing. Much better than ever before out of any other Micro Four Thirds camera that I've seen anyway. So we've still got incredible detail. And if you want to poke your head in there, you can see how dark it is. Gaurav?
I would request all people to just have a look inside. So what you are viewing outside, this is the real shooting condition. This is dark, and what you were actually watching was a 5000 ISO with no noise.
The lights ahead, the lights above aren't particularly brilliant, I think it's doing incredibly well if you look on that monitor. And this is an 8-bit monitor here only, because only rig up today. So it's looking beautiful. Imagine this in 10-bit 422, full color. As I've already seen when I've been using the camera, it looks incredible. Okay, make some movement. So, you know, a lot of people go on about other cameras being good in low light. Well, this is something else. It really is. The GH5 S competes with anything out there for its size and portability, and I'm sure you'll agree just by that demonstration alone. We're going to go next door now and have a look at the next test. So, where's Gaurav? Is he here? Okay, so we're now doing some slow motion, I think, in here. Is that right, guys? And what frame rate are we at the moment?
240 FPS. 240 FPS. 240.
So we're at 240 frames per second on the GH5 S. And don't forget, you've also got that lovely dual ISO technology kicking in at this level. And, you know, it looks really, really good. You know, for what you can see on the left-hand side here, these guys, what we filmed just before you came in here. This is exactly what we're filming on the camera. And here's the result of it on the left here, showing at 240. So, beautiful rendition. Anything you'd like to add?
Yep, this is what we have showing the demonstration for the 240 FPS. The resolution will be 1080p. And yes, as well as you can able to select 2 FPS to 240 FPS. And yeah, while you're selecting 240 FPS also, like, you know, you can see the clarity. So there is no jerking at all. The colors are clear. There is no, you can see the frame is perfect. You can have a look on the TV.
I'd really like to have a quick dance. Is that possible? So how do we do it, guys? How do we make these moves? You're moving. See, us Westerners can't dance very good. Okay. Fabulous. I think I'll give it up, though, actually. These guys are better than me, so I'll leave it to them.
We have captured that whatever.
So we've just captured some of that, have we? We're going to put that on the TV screen. So it's just to show you that it is actually happening. 240 frames per second.
There you are.
And there we are on the screen. If you look on here on the left, is that outside as well or just in here only?
Outside as well.
So outside there, I've just gone in there just to prove it's real. It's no mock-up. That is 240 frames per second, okay? And you can incorporate that in your filmmaking. So thank you very much for the demonstration. Cheers. So have we got anything else next door? Now don't forget we've got the HDR zone over here. We've also got lenses, including the new 200mm f2.8 magic lens, as I call it. It's so good. We can talk there? Okay. So lenses, I always want to talk about that 200mm lens. It's absolutely outstanding. It's the equivalent of a 35mm 400mm lens. And this is why Micro Four Thirds is so good as a format, and certainly the Panasonic GH5 S is because, half the size, the lenses are double, so you can actually they're so portable. You can take like 3 or 4 lenses in your kit bag and it won't weigh you down. Absolutely fabulous. Here we are, so at 240 frames per second, you might have to wait a very long time to see the result of the dance, but you can see how magical it is. And we've lit it really well as well. And I think we're just shooting this in the standard mode, picture profile. And it looks really, really fabulous. Skin tones look really good. I've been shooting in Brighton, south of London, lots of footage of people's skin tones. You can see that footage on Nick Driftwood on YouTube, so you get an idea of what it's like. I've just spotted a very famous wildlife filmmaker, and I'm going to have a quick word with him. Sandesh, hello mate, can you stand up and say, come over here, come over here. Sandesh, you have just got back from Africa, is that right?
Ladakh.
Okay.
And Ladakh.
Tell us about your experience. I know you've been using the GH5 S. Tell us about your own experiences with the camera.
I'll give you a break. You've been talking a lot. So, so I had the privilege of having a GH5.
you've ever filmed?
Just in this last month, I filmed everything from lions in Africa to snow leopards in Ladakh, and everything in between, rhinos, elephants, you name it. What I like about this camera, what I've been testing right now, is if it will hold up at minus 20 degrees Celsius. I left the camera out all night. None of the Panasonic, where are they? I left it out all night at minus 20. All night, doing a star time lapse. And it worked. In the morning, I picked it up, took out the battery, put another one in, and it kept firing away. And no problem with the battery at such extreme temperatures. So, rugged, portable, it's got everything a professional person, a broadcaster like me would need. So, it's a completely acceptable camera in every different condition. So, from documentary filmmaking to wedding filmmaking, you name it, it's the answer to all our problems.
And certainly the lack of IBIS is, it's not really a lack at all. We've asked for that as filmmakers and videographers. So I really want to get that across to the press, This camera is amazing, and you're going to get your own stability if you need it. And a lot of filmmakers, professional broadcasters, like we see here today, all using tripods. We actually switch off stabilization. This IBIS thing is not everything. And if you're a vlogger or whatever, you're going to get the GH5 if you want something like that, which is fine. But the GH5 S is catering for the serious video professional. And I really want that to make that clear.
No, like Nick was saying earlier on the stage, as professionals, we always turn in-camera stabilization off because you need smooth movement. And now with all of these third-party devices like the Xeontech and all the Ronin stabilizers, you put your small camera, you put it on that, you run with it, and you get beautiful, fluid, silky motion. And that's one of the reasons why you just want to just remove it. And I personally feel that just having removed it, its autofocus tracking is so good. It's so good. I was so impressed. I mean, I could hold the camera in front of me, run with it, and it kept focus without jittering in the background. I know. I was very, very impressed.
Well, thanks very much, Sandesh. Yeah. Has anyone got any questions at all they'd like to ask us?
This is Jyoti from PC Quest, and I have a query. As you said that you have filmed many documentaries with this camera, so I just want to know, didn't you got any problem in if you want to use any other lens like Canon or Nikon? So for that, didn't you face any problem for catching the lens because you have to buy an adapter? So
yeah, so with all of these cameras, the mounts are all different, right? So this is a Micro Four Third mount. So if you want to put a Canon Nikon lens on, very simple, you get a Metabones adapter, you put it in there, then you can put on your Canon lenses, your Nikon lenses, whatever you want to adapt it, PL mount. So it's very adaptable. And now there's so many third-party products out there that marry your other lenses like Canon, Nikon, whatever PL lens you have, Zeiss, you can just mount it straight on with the adapter onto the Panasonic Lumix. Yes, depending, because see, if you have a Nikon lens, it'll be a different adapter. Canon lens will be a different adapter. You do need different adapters for this.
I guarantee they'll fit in your bag with a Lumix GH5 S. Yeah. Battery life is amazing. I mean, I'm getting, I don't know what you're, but around 2 hours and longer if it's HD. 4210, but a little bit less. But the quality, just to the SD card is amazing. You don't necessarily need an external recorder, but if you want 50p, 60p in Cinema 4K or 4K, then you need to go through the HDMI. And Panasonic are working closely with people like Atomos, with the Shogun Inferno, the Ninja, and they work tremendously well.
I have not used the Atomos with this one yet, but I do look forward to. I mean, I'm getting everything internal. I'm getting everything inside the camera, and the whole point is to keep it all inside. So as soon as you start putting all these bigger monitors on, it starts getting bigger. But the fact that I used to do it earlier with the GH4 because I wanted that extra bit of quality. But now, internal recording, I'm just recording everything onto a 300 megabits per second card, and that's all I need.
Well, 400 megabits per second, isn't it? It's an incredible all-intra codec inside the camera. Oh, your card speed. Sorry, my friend. Yeah. But just want to reiterate that, though. Going back to the 400 megabits all-intra codec, internally, it's really, really top quality. And for a lot of people, it competes with, the likes of ProRes, LT, and whatever. So I think you're going to find, you're more than capable with just the GH5 S alone, with a couple of lenses you see here, to go out there and make some really incredible footage, films, videos, whatever you're doing. But for the wedding market, the event market, serious cinema makers, even a B camera with the top of the range of the VariCams of this world, this camera really does blend in well. Any more thoughts or final thoughts?
Yeah, just a note on the professional camera. So what Nick just mentioned about the VariCam. Now that's a big monster. So we use it in Bollywood. We use it in big ads, commercials, in big documentaries. It's a big Super 35 camera, but it's massive. But the fact is you can't take that big camera and stuff it into tight places. So the fact that this camera has the same Vlog, Rec 709, all the settings to marry the color and make it look exactly the same as a professional high-end, like a $50,000 camera and a $1,500 camera is just incredible. So it's one of those, it's always going to be in my bag, this camera. I can tell you that much.
Should we check your bag now? You got two in there. Wow. You see, two cameras. Has anyone got any more questions they'd like to ask? Well, now you've had a bit of a think. You look like you're going to ask me one. Sorry? You look like you were going to ask one.
Well, it's very impressive to see both of you and talking about the camera. I have no doubt, this is going to be a fantastic product from Panasonic. So that's it. Nothing much.
Thank you very much. Anyone else got any final thoughts or want to see anything? We've got some HDR stuff over there if you want to get into, or if you've got any questions.
Low light, is it going to be even in dark also, or how do you define low light?
I define low light by anything where I've got to go over 1600 ISO, and I want it clean, and this GH5S gives it to me clean. So up to 5,000, even beyond, have been 64,000. It's just ridiculous. Some people I know have been using it, they're really into the extended ISO mark because they couldn't use any other camera to capture what they were going for. So it does come in handy for all sorts of, uses.
Yeah, low light. Anything for me, anything beyond 800, that's daylight. That's why you've got your dual ISO. When in daylight, you shoot in the low light mode. And then once you go above 800 ISO, 1600 ISO, switch over into the high sensitivity mode, and then you get a clean image, a nice clean image, and that's what all of us want in low light. So none of us like that little noisy, jittery stuff, and just the fact that they borrowed it from the bigger cinema cameras and just put it in here and given it to us for the same price as any other DSLR, or less than most other DSLRs, is a big thing. That's a huge thing. Yeah. Yeah, earlier I was pressing myself to use other cameras to cover the low light spectrum. Now I'm happy that I can cover everything within the same company, the same brand, the same camera, same lenses, and not have to switch camera bodies. And that's a huge benefit because you get used to all the menu, the buttons, the functions on one. You don't want to keep switching to another. Yeah. So just the fact that you cover the entire spectrum from highlights to low lights all in one camera package, that's great.
Yeah, fantastic. I told also that, the tools you've got in camera, you've got the waveform monitor. You don't necessarily need anything else. You've got every tool there, the vector scope, the waveform. You've got Vlog View Assist, Hybrid Log Gamma HDR Assist with 2 Rec 709 style overlays. So you can see roughly how the color tonality is going to look in your final production, even though you're filming in log to the SD card. So all in all, have a serious look at it. If you get a chance, have a play. There's a couple lying around on the tripod. Have a go and see what you think. But we know already it's been really well received worldwide.
How practical it is, the dynamic range, the extended ISO range, how functional it is, because it's a wide range, like beyond 2K, 2 lakhs.
Okay, let me just, the dynamic range of the GH5 and the GH5 S are pretty close, actually. It's just what's going on with this dual ISO technology. The human perception is it's actually doing 14 stops of DR. It's crazy. Because of this, straight after the lights coming into the cells on the sensor, and the pixels are being read in by this analog circuitry, and then that's sending it on at these two native ISOs, and they're both tuned to just knock out that noise. The signal-to-noise ratio is outstanding for both settings. So they're really good starting points to then move away or go up from. But, I'm finding in daytime, 400 is brilliant, in standard profiles, or 800 ISO in the log profiles, and 2500 in low light, stroke 5000. And, and just accordingly use fast lenses or whatever, shutter speeds if you're not doing the 180 for other reasons. Just expose correctly around those. What are you finding?
I was filming the super moon recently with this camera. I was shooting at 800 ISO. I was pushing at 1600. It was too bright. So I was like, wow, what did they just do to this camera? They just like powered it up with this supercharged ISO, and I was shocked that at 1600 ISO, my landscape was getting almost blown out. It was looking like daylight in moonlight. I was really impressed.
No, I totally agree. I mean, you have to kind of relearn the time lapse. And don't forget, you got 14-bit photography mode as well now. So you can switch it between 12-bit or 14-bit, and that can also be then employed to be used in time lapse or animation.
Oh yeah. So I have part of my background in still photography. So I do a lot of still photos and time lapse. So we do all our time lapse 14-bit raw, and the resolution that we get on the screen is just mind blowing.
I'm going to leave that with you.
No. I'm done. I need to go have lunch or something. All right.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I've got to go off for an interview, and maybe Sandesh will come with me. But yeah, thank you very much. So we're NDTV. Where are we?